Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Mo, thanks for joining us. I'm glad to have you on board, and hopefully it feels good knowing that most of these folks actually already know you. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. And thank you, Gary, for the opportunity to share with everybody. For today's or tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about how we can build a pipeline using digital products. And so we know that in the previous time we were in that industrial age, and now we're in that information technology age. So I wanted to talk about how we can leverage this tool for our own leads. So just a little bit about myself. A lot of folks, Gary introduced, call me Mo. I am what we call a REMLO, which is a real estate agent and a mortgage loan originator. And so licensed in Texas and Missouri, but then can also do different products, including DSCR loans in all 50 states. So this is just a little bit of my background. So I started off in journalism and had an opportunity to work in TV news, mainly down south. And but I'm from the Midwest, born and raised in St. Louis, went to Mizzou, MIZ. And then I became licensed in 2017. And that's a few years later is when I met Gary doing a training on investors and surviving that shift. And, 2020, it ended up being a great year, but in the beginning, there was still a lot of uncertainty. So I had made the switch to EXP, took that leap of faith, founded my own team, launched my homebuyer bootcamp course, being that first round, and then in 2024 went ahead and became a Remlo. So that's just a little bit about myself. So this is what we're going to be going over tonight. And I really want it to be interactive. I don't want to just be me just like rambling on the entire time. So I would love your participation, but we're going to be going over the digital market landscape. Then we'll talk about how we can leverage digital products in real estate and identifying unique pitch and offers that we can do. And then also how we could also use this digital aspect to earn some residual income in between closings. All right. And I think that's one of the things that I love about EXP is all the different ways that you can create streams of income. So let's dive in. Let me scoop this over a little bit and let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see everything. Awesome, awesome. So in 2020 alone, there were over 2 billion consumers who had purchased digital products. That's billion with a B, right? Those are a lot of folks. There's a great market there. And so I wanted to ask, did you know the volume of digital products transactions has increased by almost 70% in the last 2 years? When they were doing the projections for 2024, so waiting for some of those figures, they estimated digital products, consumers spending over $135 billion. Okay. And then we know that digital products accounted for around 3% of spending in 2023. Well, it's like, all right, who cares? We're realtors, we're real estate agents. What does this have to do with anything? But I want us to think about how many digital products we have purchased or downloaded just this year. Audiobooks, podcasts, different softwares, different templates. Maybe you're using certain templates for your social media that you may have purchased a template, ebooks, potentially a course. Like all of us in one way or another, we have purchased whether or even downloaded a freebie, a digital product. Right. And a lot of times when they're free, what are we doing? Or what is the person doing? They're getting our information in exchange for some value that they're giving us. And so what's my point? So many could say, well, when it comes to digital products, aren't these just for millennials and Gen Z? My clientele are a little bit more mature and they're more stable financially and XYZ. Is it just Gen Z? Wrong, because baby boomers have now caught up. Whereas in times past, we saw more of our seasoned folks maybe kind of shying away from the digital aspect of things. They're catching up. And not only that, they carry half of the weight of the US as wealth. And they're also online. All right. They're online too. 68% of baby boomers have a smartphone. The majority of them are using Facebook as their popular platform for social media. And we know that Facebook ads are pretty effective, especially in real estate, right? And then 65% of baby boomers engage in online shopping. So what I'm saying is that they're catching up. So what I'm saying is that if you feel as though I don't really know that I want to go the digital route because I'm that's not necessarily my target market. I'm telling you that just about everyone's there. What's the point? I'm saying that our next client, our seller, our buyer, they are online, they are young and seasoned. And instead of us only trading time for money, consultations, different things like that, there are ways that we can leverage digital entrepreneurship and digital products to build our pipeline of sellers and buyers. So, according to NAR, 41% of buyers started their process searching online, while 20% started by reaching out to a realtor. And what I began to ask was, well, how can I get ahead of that? Before they even start thinking about how they want to purchase a home or they want to sell a home, how can I get in front of that person online? What if we could do something to reach them earlier? Okay. And this is where being proactive with the digital products come into play. So I want to talk about how we can do this within real estate. So here's the backstory. I first launched the Homebuyer Bootcamp course in 2020, and it was March. It was this month, and I had just switched over to EXP. And as I always do, I always, pray over my business. I am a person of faith. That's just what works for me. And I noticed that I kept running into buyers who they needed some help, they needed some more information. And I was doing these long consultations over an hour, going through. And then sometimes it was effective, but other times the buyers were just like overwhelmed. It was just a lot of information. And so they're overwhelmed. And I'm like, whew, I love to share this information, but this is taking a lot of time. And in prayer, this idea came, why don't you do a challenge? Break it up in 4 weeks. Give them the information bit by bit. And that way, those who aren't ready, you're still able to touch them. You're still able to engage with them. And those who are ready, the course or the challenge has done the heavy lifting so that when I meet with them, we're getting straight to, signing the paperwork, pre-approval, and on to the next thing. So this is what I created. I called it my Homebuyer Bootcamp Challenge. Okay. It was a 4-week challenge. And how I had advertised it was, listen, give me 4 weeks to coach you to home ownership. Now, is it going to take 4 weeks for some folks? Yes. But what we did find was that some people actually were more ready than they thought they were. So I will stop sharing and I'm going to share with you guys the website so you can kind of get a feel of how I put this together. And, we can kind of start brainstorming, masterminding how you could do something similar within your niche. So let me share. And while I'm sharing, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. All right. Well, let me know
Yes,
if you can see.
quick question,
Okay,
Mo, while you're going
Yes.
with that. Besides me asking you to let me R&D your idea here, rip off and duplicate, do you also leverage all the materials that we have in the GIA website?
So I have not used the specific materials in the website for this particular challenge. Now, when we were doing our gig groups, when we had our global investor agent investor groups, we would leverage a lot of the digital products that Gary had provided us within the group to help educate some of the newer investors, on the buy and hold and flipping without the paint, all those different things. But for this particular one, not so. And that's because the majority of this is video based. Okay. Yes. So we'll go into that. So this is a landing page, that I created, and then there's a video. And so I'm speaking to those pain points. We know some folks are dealing with student loan debt. Some people have concerns about their credit, or even concerned about how much they need to bring to the closing table. Well, we know that there are a lot of resources that are available for folks, right? There's different grants and things that, I know as a lender and as a realtor that we can stack to help folks get into their home. So what I'm doing is I'm speaking to those pain points, introducing myself, and this course is free. They'll get their own portal. And here, this is what I am leveraging. I'm leveraging all the resources that's been given to us, not just through EXP, but through the GIA team, through things like Accelerate. We get our own Go High Level account. This is through that resource. So it didn't cost me anything. So I'm providing this resource for free. This is someone who I helped purchase a home, and she went through the program and she loved it. She's been a great advocate of it. So testimonials, right? To encourage the buyers, let them know, hey, don't worry, you can do the same thing. So how I broke it up was module 1 or week 1, we talk about those hurdles to home ownership, the buying process. Then week 2, the lending process. What are lenders looking for? What are down payment resources that are available? Then we go into the debt dilemma, right? And I've still got to, y'all, this hasn't launched yet, so we got to still make some tweaks to the website. And then also module 4, like getting your credit mortgage ready. Okay. So different things like that. So, and then they'll have a chance to have like live Q&As with different specialists that I bring in each week, depending on the topic. But they still can go through the course at their own pace if they would like, right? So this is pretty much the gist of it. So you were asking like, hey, are you using other resources that we have? Well, this was video based. So let me stop share. And I will go back to the presentation. But how I did it was I did like I'm talking as if I was consulting the buyer one-on-one. So for me, during the pandemic, I switched to virtual consultations. And after the pandemic, I kept them. And here's why. I found that it was easier to get my foot in the door, especially with those sellers who were nervous, like, oh, I didn't clean up the house today, or whatever, they wanted to cancel. They would keep that Zoom consultation. My conversion rates went up, so I kept it. So the way I'm recording this course is as if I'm consulting you one-on-one. Okay. And there's different subtopics, even those who are dealing with, bankruptcy, foreclosure, IRS, doesn't matter. I want to share as much information out there as possible. And even if someone can't buy, they will likely refer me someone, which has happened, who is ready. And what it did was it began to create a buzz. And people are like, I'm looking for a realtor. I'm looking for XYZ. Does anyone know anyone? Oh, Mo's got a course. That was it. It stood out in the midst of all the other names of, yeah, so-and-so. It's like, wait, she has a course that you can take and it's free. All right. So let me get back to my my presentation, and forgive me because I have a million tabs and I know I'm not the only one. So I'm not ashamed of that by any means.
Hey guys, so far, isn't this awesome? I mean, first off, how prepared Mo is. She did this on her own, guys. I'm the lucky one. I just get to watch.
Oh, thank you, Gary.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I promise I'm gonna find it.
that's okay. And if you guys do have questions, you can type them in the chat box, and then we can, even have you unmute yourself too.
Mo, I do have a question. Out of let's just use 10 customers come in through your platform, approximately how many of those are you successful with, and how many of those are not qualified today?
Yeah, so the majority of the folks sometimes that have come through, I would say at least 6 of them need a little bit more nurturing. Like 6 out of 10 need more nurturing.
Is that right?
Which is the reason why we bring in those specialists, right? So for me, like this was a way of of giving back, but also a way of, again, establishing authority and credibility. All right. And so there are some who were more ready than they thought they were. They thought they may have needed 20% down, but because they found out that, oh, we have access to a 5% down conventional program, well, maybe I can buy a little bit sooner. Because here's the thing, the longer folks are delaying on buying, we've seen our the property values are still hanging tight or increasing. Right. So instead of trying to wait all that time, it may be better for you to go ahead and take advantage of this really great first time home buyer program and go ahead and buy now, where you can kind of lock things in. So again, when I created this, it was in mind of those who needed more nurturing, but I didn't want to have to take 20 buyers hand by hand and try and nurture them when they could go to this resource and I could do group coaching and then leverage this as a way to get more leads. Yep.
Fantastic.
That's a great question. All right, I found it, y'all. So let's I'm going to share my screen again. And we'll go in full screen. All right, so you guys pretty much got the gist of how that is. So what I wanted to pitch today was like, how can we like identify your own unique niche in your own offer? For me, I wanted to focus on first-time home buyers because that's where I found an issue and I was able to come up with a solution for it. And not only that, according to NAR, first-time home buyers made up a third of all buyer transactions in 2024. And here's the thing, I know that all of us know that when it comes to listings, it's about 7 to 8 hours of work. When it comes to buyers, it's about 40 hours of work. It can be a little bit more money. I mean, not more money, more time. But I'll also say that my first 7-figure transaction were 2 first-time home buyers. I think I'll get over the, few extra hours if I can get them, qualified and get them to the closing table. And so the thing is that even in that, because I know we tend to focus on listings more as we should, we are shifting into a buyer's market. And in some areas, there's a little bit more inventory and opportunity. I can at least speak for myself in Dallas when it comes to existing single family homes. So what can we create for your own niche? Like, do you work with a number of veterans? Perhaps you're passionate about working with first responders or nurses, or if there's a repetitive issue or thing that you have seen, a common theme that you have seen amongst your sellers within a particular area, like what digital product can we do to solve that? We can follow the money. Where are people moving to and from? So I am from St. Louis. I'm licensed in Missouri and Texas, but guess what? There are a lot of folks who move from Missouri to Texas and to Florida. Maybe you're in Florida and you get a lot of snowbirds. Well, what are some of the most common issues or concerns that people have? If you have this course that's running in the background that folks can sign up for, they can watch at their own pace. You've got all their information. You can see how they've tracked through, whether you decide to do a live thing or not. And now you have an excuse to touch that person and they leaned in. They're already warm. They're already comfortable with you. You've already established yourself as an authority within that particular niche. And so these are different things that we can think about. Like, again, ebooks, courses, there's podcasts, there's YouTube, there's all these different things. But even if you're doing YouTube and Reels and TikToks, to have some type of product in their hand from you that's digital, that doesn't require you being the one sending it, is really, really important. So I call the digital advantage because it doesn't require you to be present to reach a new client. There are folks who do certain webinars. If you know that you're selling within a certain subdivision and you create a webinar just specifically for that subdivision about different hurdles or things you need to make sure you remember when you're selling your home. I don't care what it is, whatever it is, it establishes that credibility and authority that we're talking about. And then depending on the product, you could create another stream of income. And that gets us to the earning the residual. So as we're building out our pipeline, because these leads are coming to us because we've provided something that's valuable, outside of your freebies, your ebooks or different things like that, if you're specialized enough, you can charge for something. For me, the boot campers, the course is free. You can log in, you create your own portal, you go at your own pace. You can come into the live Q&As. You'll be able to have access to different vendors that can come in, whether it's credit repair or people needing help with budgeting, XYZ, whatever, it's free. But if you would like this workbook to go along with it, it's a minimal fee. I also created a product. It hasn't been launched yet because it's only going to launch for the boot campers first, is a financial tracker. Essentially, they'll be able to put in all their financial information and they'll be able to see from a lender and a realtor standpoint, are they ready to go ahead and move towards a pre-approval? And if not, there's different strategies, debt elimination strategies, different things that they can apply to their debt to eliminate it, to help them, give them the game plan to get ready for their mortgage. Right. So even though may not necessarily be able to close them now, I can close them and get incremental commitment. And since I've been holding them, eventually they will be. So as realtors, sometimes we're looking for that now, transaction. But with the pipeline, right, it's important that we build out our pipeline and not just looking for the now, but even nurturing those to come. And so that's where I genuinely believe that every entrepreneur, no matter the industry that they're in, should have a digital aspect to their business, a digital stream of income. So for me as a realtor, I have the realtor side, there's the lending side. So this boot camp hit 2 businesses for me. Then I added the digital piece. At EXP, we have access to Utility Connect. So when people move, hey, we can provide that service for you for free. So it's creating multiple streams so that whether I'm closing on the realtor side, I can be closing on the lending side. And if I can't get you to close, I'm going to give you some tools to help you get there and still make a little bit of something along the way. So that's it.
Wow. Isn't that awesome, guys? So,
Great job. Great job.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
So Mo, the way you have, like, if you think about the marketing triangle, you've got market, the 3 M's, market, message, and media. So the media, how you're actually delivering this. I'm imagining you still meet people in person, the first time home buyers at some point, and of course they can digest this content digitally, right? They can watch videos and interact with your website. Well, what is that? So kind of step us through a timeline. And let's just say, you know, Christine Simonson meets a new person, and you know, they're asking, "Hey, what do you do?" And she say, "What do you do?" And when she tells them she's a real estate agent, they say, we really we want to buy our house. We don't even know where to start. I mean, it looks like everything's so expensive. I don't know how people can afford to buy houses. So what's kind of take us through a hypothetical timeline, if you don't mind, and anybody, Christine Simonson too, probably any of you ask questions along the way, because I want you to get a feel for what this looks like from the consumer's perspective. You know what I mean? You're actually teaching them instead of telling them. It's a huge difference, So,
Yes, yeah. So let me understand your question. You're saying, what does that look like if I meet someone who they're, they need some guidance?
well, let's say Christine, she wants to do what you're doing, or you decide later on you're gonna make your product not just available to the consumers, but for other real estate agents who they don't want to create it themselves. They just want to use yours, and maybe they'll pay you something for it. And then they meet a client. Like, what's that timeline when you're meeting? Actually, take us through one of your own examples of your own timeline with your prospect. I'm assuming they've responded to some marketing that you've done, or you just meet them like at Starbucks or something, and they indicate
Yeah.
they want to buy.
Yeah. So the majority of the boot campers I actually met online. The
Okay.
majority of them I met online. And so they've either responded to a reel or something that was posted or a live that was done. And what they did was I led them to take a survey so that I can understand who was in the class and I could
Mhm.
get the statistics of what was going on in the class. So I asked them, what's your biggest hindrance right now to purchasing? Is it just you're afraid, not enough information, credit issues, whatever? What is that? And I got that information from them. And so I actually met a lot of them in the class. Then, as we went through the class and as we went through after they went through the 4 weeks of each module, they had an opportunity to schedule a one on one with me. So the one on one only happened after they had consumed and participated throughout the entire thing. And most of them were willing to do that. I didn't have people follow up like, this is too much. I just want to talk to Mo. No, they actually were okay with having a week to watch 10 or 15-minute videos,
Mhm.
ask their questions live. So then by the time we got to the one-on-one, they already knew kind of where they were and what they needed help with. So we were able to spend that time, and not waste time and then get them going. So it's not really that long or as complicated of a process. I mean, I just met someone at the DMV who was helping me
Mhm.
process my ID and stuff. And they were a first time home buyer. They were looking. So I shared with them like, hey, there's different resources available for you. And would you be interested in a course? They're like, are you kidding me? Like, I know a lot of people that need this course. And then it's just as simple as them going to the website, signing up, and filling out that survey. Because as I look through the survey, now I know during the live sessions, what should I spend more time on? Or perhaps maybe I should bring the same specialist in twice. For some folks, they have a lot of concerns about their credit.
Yeah.
We typically only spend 1 week on that. But if I know that 50% of the boot campers, like that's a big pain point, well, maybe we do 2 live sessions with the credit specialist for them. So yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the whole thing about credit and finances, being able to afford it. I mean, I think that's probably 90% or more of all first-time home buyers. They can't see their way through to buying a home. I mean, they're just usually just like a lot of people, just kind of getting by month to month. Um, but there's so many good programs out there right now, and there have been for a while. FHA, 3% down. There's people that had VA eligibility that sometimes don't even realize it. Um, and there's also even grants, the state level. So, guys, the programs don't just exist at the federal level. The programs also exist at the state level. Okay, so I've seen people get a uh, this is back when Section 8 had a home buyers program. We would take some of our tenants and sponsor them and find them a house and flip it to the tenant and make them part of the project. And they got a a Section 8 HUD loan, but the money for the down payment came from a state grant. It was a first time home buyers grant for people. It was awesome. And it just showed people, I mean, then they could start it with nothing, and all they have to have is desire and a willingness to learn, you know?
Yes,
So,
yes. And we
so
put that together too for the boot campers, a list of down payment assistance programs in every state that they can
awesome.
download to, and even talk with their lender about, right? I mean, that again is another freebie that could just be given out to use to attract certain folks. And I did want to say this, that again, I understand that maybe first time home buyers or buyers in general, sometimes, we tend to shy away from them. But when we come into a market that's shifting a little bit, it may not be as bad and it may be a little bit easier with the extra inventory coming. But I say this to say that you could always build this pipeline and funnel them to your own team as you're building them, right?
Yeah.
These leads you could just be attracting just like we do on the listing side as, as rainmakers.
Mhm.
You could still be doing that same thing and actually allowing others to service them for you, and then still,
Mhm.
still have that as another stream for your business. So,
Yeah. So the online leads, are some of them finding your website organically, or is a lot of it coming from like, Facebook and Instagram, and how would you kind of
yeah.
describe to us your online marketing, if
So
you don't
when
mind?
I first started, I didn't have a website.
Mhm.
And there was no portal. I had a free Facebook group and I would release a new video each week in the group and I would go live in the group with our specialists. I just used what I had. I had a Google form. And so then, as things began to grow, then, you make it more professional. But what I was doing was just reels. There were reels and I would run a few Facebook ads. And that is how I got it. And then it just spread between my own SOI and again, some folks I to this like I never met, until we were like at a showing, or something of that nature, that word just spread. So stories, reels, Instagram, and Facebook ads. That's how we were able to get the folks. And so that will be the strategy because this round is gonna launch again a little bit later this month. Is the
Okay.
reels? Hmm.
Are you finding your your followers on particularly Facebook and Instagram, is that steadily growing? Like, do you ask them all to like and share and things like that, or do they do it all on their own organically? Mm.
What I found was that folks were, I mean, I would always have a call to action at the end of a video or something,
Mhm.
to, sign up now or share this with a friend. But I even just did like a little promo, like, hey, the course is coming soon. And folks were like, hey, can you send this to my daughter? She's been talking about this. People, because it's such a, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting thing. So even like family members are like thinking of other family members or other friends. Like people are actually like they're spreading the word themselves because it's a free resource.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse to not like what is the objection to
Mhm.
watching videos from the comfort of your own home and learning everything that you need to be able to purchase? You've almost
Yeah.
removed a lot of the hurdles. Because here's the thing, most folks would do, not a webinar, a seminar on the weekend, and you go to a local library and you get a lender and you pay for lunch or try to company pay for lunch, or you're trying to educate people for 3 hours and trying to get them to come to a particular location for a seminar. This is at home.
Yeah.
It's online. So the folks who started out, they were very engaged all throughout. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So, and then, people would encourage each other in the community, like, those who were able to go ahead and purchase. And so what I found is that some folks were really down if they were not able to get pre-approved. And I would just always let them know, listen, it's a not now. It's not a no forever. It's not now. Let's come up with a game plan so that you can get there. And it's just really rewarding. I mean, the buy side is a bit more work, but it is really rewarding when you're able to give keys to like a young family and they've been able to, have a home that's their own. So it's
Yeah.
been really fun.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live.
We know it's interesting. And everybody, chime in, guys, if you want. Raise your hand and mute yourself. But I'm starting to think of other uh, niches. Like Mo mentioned earlier, she chose the first time homebuyer niche. What about the new construction niche? I mean, there's been a big buzz about that lately because of what we're doing with the Braden Kinder Facebook ads through Funnel Pilot. And if you're in my front or second line and you're not in Accelerate, you're really missing the boat, guys. I mean, I've paid for it. It's already paid for you, you know. But new construction right now, just look around, look at Dallas, look at Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, look at almost any large metropolitan area in the suburbs. Atlanta, look at Atlanta. It just it unbelievable how many new developments are going on all around what they call the perimeter. You know, um, but you could probably take this idea, what Mo's done, and reconstruct it, or maybe Mo probably won't beat you to it, quite frankly, but do one for new construction. Because think about it, first time home buyers, what are they going to start thinking in 3 to 5 years if they have a child or maybe a second child or a third child? And next thing you know, 7 years in, there you go. They're moving in. They want a new home. They want to build it themselves, right? So now you got two sales: the sale of their existing home and their purchase of the new construction. And by the
Yeah.
way, if you work with the local builders, not the big giant Horton and Ryan and all those guys, but sub-regional and local builders don't have inside sales teams. They can't afford it. They don't have marketing. They don't understand it. They know how to build homes. That's what they do. They maybe build a couple a year, and that's all they have time for. And then you show up, bringing them one, two, three buyers in a year. It's inevitable. They're going to ask you, say, "Hey, can you help me with this part of the business?" Of course, your answer is yes, because that's what we do. But I think, we already had the material for investors. Everything we have is on the GIA Team website for you to use to share with your clients, remember? So Moshe's done the same thing. And I think what she has is much more elegant. It's beautiful. I thought the website, the material, everything is just super nice. I feel like I'm jabbering too much here. Who here has another idea, or can you think? PF, you got your hand up? If you want to go ahead and mute yourself, feel free.
No, please go ahead, finish that question.
Well, I just want to see what other ideas you might have. I know, like Eric Reisner, he's found a way to work a niche. Him and Dutch, by the way, too, with some of Lou Brown's material that they've used. There's people out there that need an alternative path to home ownership, right? And they can provide that. So, if you have the gumption, and Mo mentioned she's using some of the resources that are already available to us, either being on the team or being in our group, the Honey Badger group, or being in EXP. I mean, what we're doing, Accelerate, will go high level. That's an actual delivery program where you can deliver content and track when somebody watched the video, how long did they watch it for, things like that. You already have the tools. Okay. You don't have to go buy all this stuff. It's there for you. Just if you have the desire to have this type of a brand where people know you as a teacher, right? I mean, they know Mo is a real estate agent, obviously, but I'm willing to bet you this is the first time those people have actually ever really been taught properly how to buy a home because of the way Mo's constructed it. I've never seen this before. You know, is anybody here getting some ideas or excited about this? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So
Now, if you could get this program and it was $1 million, but you knew you can make $10 million using it, would you do it? Well, it's not $1 million. It's only $999,999.99. No, just kidding.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I've been telling Will, I said, really, I think the value, from the public view is clearly the first time home buyer. They benefit the most from this. But do you guys think Mo's got something that she can use that's intellectual property, that's marketable? That I bet if other agents had this, and maybe there was a monthly, we don't, by the way, this conversation is happening organically as we speak right now. This is not scripted. I'm not here to, promote what Mo's doing to you. I mean, I am in a way, but if she doesn't have the platform for that kind of thing, I just want to plant the seed because I know that it's there and I know it's valuable. You get to maybe use something that you didn't take all the time that she took to create it, but it has value. Not the value is not what Mo put into it. The value is what you get out of it if you use it. Remember, 1/3 of the business, 1/3 last year in the slowest market in 30 years was first-time home buyers. Okay, that's why I'm so intent about this. So, any case, I shouldn't be the one doing all the talking.
Thank
You guys
you.
should be talking and asking questions.
Sure.
So, anything you
yeah,
want to add on to that? Any thoughts?
Say that again, Gary.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I was asking. You said any thoughts? Is that what you
Anything
said?
you want to add to that, or you know, future looking plans, for the program?
I mean, I did. You are the one who, kind of put that seed
Mhm.
out there, and I think it's something I would be open to. I definitely think it's something I'd be open to, especially with the financial tracker, because I think that that's going to help a lot of buyers as well.
Oh yeah,
And that's not branded to me at all. It's just about done, but I think that's going to be a really powerful tool to help people really evaluate and not waste time. Like they'll know they've got a little bit
yeah,
more work to do before they reach out trying to see a home. Like let's get this DTI under control. But yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited and I'm open to that.
yeah. Well, let's flesh it out further. We could do a couple strategy calls, but really, the obviously the consumer has the option or the opportunity to purchase the other two add-ons after they get the basic program, which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So going down the road, um, if you make it available to the agents, and you can probably find companies like EXP getting behind you and helping you do that. And also, you never know. Somebody like Brian Buffini, he's a competitor, but he's not. He's not any brokerage. He doesn't have a brokerage. He's a great teacher and coach. When I've got to meet him in person, but something like this, somebody like that picks up on this, and you make some kind of arrangement with them. Boy, you're you're shooting to the stratosphere instantly. So
Wow.
yeah,
Thank you, Gary. Yeah.
we'll see you buying a brand new Rolls Royce. You know, that
That
just
was
gets.
so
So
fun.
Mo, um,
Yes.
if I wanted to duplicate what you're doing from scratch, uh, how would I get started? Meaning, like, how did you design this program? How long did it take you to ramp it up? Uh, do you have multiple stages so that you could say, oh, for this quarter, I'm going to be launching this part only on Facebook ads, and this is my budget. And then I'm going to ramp it up this way, and then I'm going to leverage this other technology ESP has. And then to make the question even longer, how did you discover the technology that you could use?
Okay, I'll start with the last question. So I was getting my account set up for Accelerate, and someone said, "Hey, I've kind of got like a strategy that I'm using to attract agents already. Can I run a funnel in my account?" And they said, "Yeah, you have a goal high level account. You can do whatever you'd like to do with it. It's yours." And I said, "It's yours." And I was like, "Wait a second." I was like, "Doesn't Go High Level have like course creation?" And then I was like, "Wait, and I can upload digital products on here, you know?" So here's the thing, like even leveraging the digital products that Gary has already created for us that he's given us permission and license to use. Okay, well, why not create a quick reel speaking to the pain points that Gary's already addressed in this digital product and run a funnel for it. And now you've just gotten leads. You didn't charge them for it. Okay, you made it free because Gary gave it to us. So freely you receive, freely you give. And then, now you have, a potential investor or new investor or whatever that you now have, you can reach and you can touch and you can see, like Gary said, when they downloaded it, you can make them put in their phone number, their email address. So it was as I was going through setting up Accelerate that I realized, oh my gosh, I have access to this. Like they're already using it for ads and XYZ. Well, what else can I do to leverage this? And I was already thinking about relaunching a new round. So typically what I was doing it once a quarter, just once a quarter, doing a live round. But now that I have this platform, folks can still, even if I'm not doing a live round and not doing live Q&As, there's nothing stopping them from going through all 4 modules and still scheduling a one-on-one with me. There's nothing stopping them from doing that, right? And so you were saying, how long did it take? Now, I'm going to be honest. It took a little minute because I'm still, I still have to work. So there were a few nights I told Gary, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Like I was like up till 3 o'clock in the morning. But what I did was I just sat down and I was like, all right, what do I want to focus on the first week? Okay, what are the main concerns or I don't want to say objections, but hurdles that I'm hearing buyers are going through. And I wrote an outline and then I just began to build out module by module my slide deck. So the slide deck that I did for you guys today, I made a slide deck as a guide. That way, when I was doing the modules, I had something that was interactive and to keep me on task as I'm speaking through each point. And so then once I created all of the slides and I did that, I recorded the videos. And before I would do like one long video for one module. And I was like, you know what, let me break this up. Let me do a 3-minute video, on debt to income ratio and how you calculate that. Let me do a 3-minute video, on how lenders calculate your student loans so you can kind of figure out where you stand. Let me do another 3. So within that week 3, there may be four or 5-minute videos as opposed to like one long 20-minute video. Okay. Right. So so I just broke it up like kind of based on the topics within the topics to make it bite sized because we have a short attention span. Okay. But they've got a week as we're going through the live course, they've got a week to get through 20 minutes worth of video. I
hope
think you
knocked
can do
yourself
that. I
worse.
think you can get
If
through
you
that.
can
Right.
call me
And then
back, I would
each
love
week.
it. Thank you. Have a blessed night too.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
hang
Catherine.
on.
No, I'm joking. Um, and then also each week they have action items. So I'm keeping them engaged. Like, so when we come to our live Q&As, before you ask a question, did you watch all the videos? Were you able to get through your action items each week to keep them engaged and keep them on task? So it did take a little bit of time, but the first thing was just an outline, then creating that slide deck, then recording that slide deck and uploading it to our nice Go High Level account. Yep. So then after I did that, then I was able to do the website and the landing page. Then I'm able to create the promo stuff. Then I'm able to create the videos because I've done the main framework. So I did the product first and then reverse engineered on all the marketing and stuff.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And
Yeah.
every week when I come online, Gary, close your ears. And so, especially you, Eric, I count my blessings on how lucky I am to be in this group. And you are another big star on making that blessing even brighter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, PF.
All the feels.
It was very nice. Yeah.
That's awesome, Gary.
Okay. Hey guys, if you have questions, now's a good time to ask them. You've got Mo on and we'll stay on for a few more minutes and then I'll stay on afterwards too if you guys have questions related to anything else, particularly the Accelerate program, and which is part of what Mo is using to deliver this, her platform, and it doesn't get any better than that, That's
I'll
being an entrepreneur.
I'll
Yeah.
chime in here, step on the gas pedal because right now the market's slow. It's a perfect opportunity for these first-time home buyers. Yes, things are a little bit more expensive maybe, but lower your sights a little, get into a house, and then keep marching forward. But there's less activity, and in some markets, actually, they're becoming buyers markets. So, and I don't know if Dallas, I think probably parts of Dallas, but I've heard Houston for sure, and lots of markets in Florida. So capitalize on that and keep stepping on that gas pedal.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. It's really interesting here in Dallas because a lot of the existing homes, I was telling Gary, they sit for a while. I mean, beautiful estates, but everybody wants to do new construction. And so for me, I'm like, if you're a first time home buyer in Texas, you better get a good deal on one of these existing single family homes already, because the sellers are like, hey, we're throwing in closing costs. Like they're doing anything and everything that they can to get their property to move. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just
Yep.
people
Tell,
can drive
tell,
1 mile further and get something custom.
tell them the bones are better on the older stock, and do the work yourself, or get your family and friends pizza and beer and have them do what we call work for equity, and do it yourself, and you build your own bank account. So
Yep.
there'll be time for that shiny new house down the road.
Hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Most markets are expanding. Um, the the imbalance between supply and demand is still there, but it's slowly, gradually um, coming to equalization. It just may take a few more years, or will likely take a few more years. Um, and of course, interest rates drive a lot of that, but so does consumer patience. It's consumer confidence is huge, but consumer patience, guys, that's what happens when people just get tired of waiting. When prices went up during the pandemic years, it knocked a lot of people out of the game. They thought, well, I'm just going to wait. I'll wait for prices to surely they'll go back down again. Well, it almost never happens in real estate. In all my years of real estate, I've only seen it happen one time, and that was in a big recession, and it wasn't every market. But in any case, they're waiting for rates to go down. But at some point, they're just like they just want to get their own house. They're just tired of waiting. You know, they'll get a house. They might have to lower their expectations from what they had 2 years ago, but they're going to get a house. So keep that in mind. We actually are seeing an uptick in activity, especially in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's been very busy. Lots of transactions, lots of conversations. I mean, helping people solve problems, but that means those are the seeds that are being planted that are going to bear fruit a few months down the road. So at the end of the day, really what it comes down to is just hustle. You know, you you've got to wake up and hit the ground running. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what activity you engage in, as long as it's a productive activity. You know, there might be three things to do. Just pick one. If you're not sure, just pick one. By the way, if you're not sure what to do, that means you need to set up a strategy call with me, because chances are you don't have a complete vision, goals, action plan, right? VGAP. When you've done that at the beginning of every year, like we do, and you actually do it, those are the people that throughout the year never wonder what it is they need to be doing right now or what they're doing next. They've already got it all figured out. Look at Brianna Latham, Kendra Dobbins last year. Both of them, you know, had been on the team for a couple of years and they said, I just decided I'm going to actually do it. Lo and behold, they're getting tremendous results. Look at Bonetta, same thing. You know, it when you take action, when you swing the bat, you're going to get results. It's just a mathematical certainty. So if you ever find yourself asking, I'm not sure what I should be doing right now, you'd pick up the phone, call me, set up a strategy call, and let's get working. Let's figure out why do you not know what to do in that moment, and figure it out and solve it. I mean, that's what I'm here for. You know, so sometimes we roll our sleeves up, right? We roll our sleeves up and we work with you. It's called guided implementation. So, in any case, all right. I'll keep yapping if you guys let me. So, Juan, if you have a question, your hand's raised. Go ahead and chime in.
I don't really have a question. I just want to say that I really love what you did, Mo. And I do want to do it too. So I'm gonna go back through and watch the replay, because I got in on your presentation late. So I'm gonna go back through and watch it, and I may be giving you a call, because I do want to incorporate that. I do work with a lot of first-time home buyers. I work with veterans, and I've worked with a few investors as well. So I'm very interested in that. And then also it is a way for me to provide my own leads as well, as far as those veterans and first-time home buyers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
really enjoyed the part of the presentation that you did, and I love what you did.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I look forward to connecting. I'm happy to connect with you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And hey guys, Juan, don't go anywhere, guys. I want to give a big shout out to Juan because last week she closed on a pretty sizable, 12-unit building that she's been working on for months. I mean, this thing has the train rolling down the tracks. It catches on fire. She puts the fire out. A wheel falls off. She puts the wheel back on. The thing goes off the railroad track. She gets it back on the railroad track, and it goes crashing into the train station last week and finally closes. And I'm not making this stuff up. I know I shouldn't be talking about other people. I'm not going to mention his name, but that client, I mean, I don't know how she did it, guys. If it was me, I'd be in a loony bin with what that guy did to poor Juan. So Juan, congratulations. You deserve every penny you got from that transaction,
Yes.
Thank you. And he is not exaggerating.
I tell you. I mean,
I kid
it
you
is.
not.
Yeah. And it's just a lesson in real estate. What's interesting is, guys, we have to work hard to get those transactions, don't we? You got to really, if you're either transactional, which means you're fighting at one transaction at a time, or you're a business builder like Mo, and you build a business machine that feeds you. But either way, Mo just told you she stayed up all night a lot of nights working on this thing. But that's what it takes. Few minutes of pain right now is going to buy you a lot of gain down the road. But what I was getting to a moment ago is we work hard to get these transactions. I would encourage you to expect trouble. Don't wish for it, but expect it because it's likely going to happen on almost every transaction. And do not ever give up. You keep that transaction going, breathe life into it. Don't ever give up. Just don't ever give up. And I promise you, most of those you'll get across the finish line when other people would have given up a long time ago. Henry's got one right now. I don't even know if Henry's on tonight. He told me he's almost all out of hair. All his hair is falling out because of this one transaction. I'll tell you what happened. So he's the listing agent, gets the property under contract. The buyer wants to buy it, the seller wants to sell. 2 days before closing, the seller says, "Well, I don't have a place to go." And we're like, "Well, wait a minute, what do you mean by that?" "Well, I can't go, I can't move out of here on Friday. Closing's on Friday. I can't move out of here. I don't have anywhere to go." And it's like we call it the dead cat syndrome. We just dump this thing on everybody's lap 2 days before closing. And if you think about it, who all's involved? Henry, the selling agent. There's another agent for the buyer's agent. Of course, the buyer themselves, the title company has done all that work, right? They have to pay for that title policy. That's not free. Got to pay for it. All the title search, all the title work. The lender making the loan, right? All these people are involved, not to mention that the two brokerages involved. There's like 7 entities all trying to help this guy get his act together instead of him taking responsibility for it. The problem is that he just didn't do it. So Henry actually found this guy an apartment, found a moving company to move him. The guy says, "Well, that doesn't work for me," because he had to work that Saturday. It's like, well, give us a solution. He wouldn't come up with anything. Actually, we're still negotiating, trying to keep that thing alive. But that's the kind of stuff that happens. So always expect you're going to have some trouble. Be prepared for it and commit to take it, nurture that transaction, breathe life into it, take care of it like a baby until you actually close. Promise you'll be glad you did because it'll teach you going forward. It pays to be resilient and persistent and just do not give up. So maybe that's I'll make that my preaching moment for tonight. Right. So, okay. Guys, any questions? It's 8 o'clock. I'll stay on a little bit longer if you guys have anything you want to go over, especially when it comes to accelerate in production and attraction. We will be meeting Wednesday night. Okay, remember Wednesday night at 7. It's the monthly team call, the second Wednesday of the month. Make sure if you're on the team, that's you kind of have to be there. Okay, I can't come get you and make you be there because you're a 1099 contractor, but you need to be there. All right. So that's where internally we do all our strategic work. So it's really important you know what's going on. I mean, there's people on the team that have been on the team for years, actually have no idea what's going on. They're not here. You guys do because you're here. but it's a challenge, and you just have to participate and engage, right? Take action. So, okay. Any questions on anything Mo came or showed you tonight, or anything on a transaction or a client? Is there who here still needs help on Accelerate? Like you're still waiting for your phone number to be approved, which is me, by the way, or you've got to get your records up in the Go High level still. Is anybody still struggling in the setup? It's okay if you are, because you're not alone, believe me. It's just a big project, so it takes time. So yeah, the
The
sheet
shadow
says
says
me.
me.
What's
The
that?
shadow says me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to confess in public, I'm still a little behind.
Mm-hmm.
Going through a lot of prep work, like getting my vanity URL.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll open it as a question to everybody to give me a suggestion. What would be a good opening vanity URL to attract other agents? Oh, and there's another question for Mo. Mo, did you have two different URLs to go through the high level thing? One for the agent attraction and the other one for the new buyers.
No, because the way Go High Level sets it up, there's like a custom link to invite people into the membership for them to access the course. So I just created a like the homebuyerbootcampchallenge.com just for the landing page. And then once they sign up and gone through that survey, they'll get the invite directly into the portal. So I didn't have to get like another domain or anything.
Oh, okay. So the portal is still using the one URL that you're supposed to get.
Yeah, there's a custom link within Go High Level for the course.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And then remember your contacts. You'll know you'll know which contacts are like agents that are already working with you in your downline versus agents that are, in other companies, and then also consumers, so you can identify them each individually or separately. So, so, Lisa, on your, so you're still on Funnel Pilot. You're still waiting for Funnel Pilot then, Lily?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for fun. It's like I can go on, but there's nothing on there.
Okay. All right. Let me, write this because we're meeting actually tomorrow. Let me write this down. Yeah, guys, if you can tell me these things, it helps me a lot, because when I go to like Andre and I go to a different meeting on Tuesdays, this is where we bring this kind of stuff up, because there's a much smaller number of us at the level 3 through 8. Maybe 20 people show up every week. So we get a lot of, we're able to get a lot of more specialized attention. So Lily, um, check. Accelerate. Account. Okay. So Lily, I'm going to get that, I'll raise it up for you tomorrow. Okay.
Thank
And then,
you.
oh, you're welcome. Yeah. And Deshita, was there, anything in particular, Deshita, or is it more general in nature? Or you just need help with the whole setup process itself? Because yeah, don't be shy, because other people in the same boat.
Well, I have mine set up, but it doesn't have anything. It's like Lily's as well.
Okay. All right. Let me write that down. So I
Like
wonder, Andre, if
here,
you,
and I can participate and
Mhm.
be on the timeline and everything, but I can't do anything else.
Okay. So it's weird. So Andre, it's like their accounts approved, like they're up, but they don't have, like things aren't displaying like the events tab, that kind of stuff. Learning.
I said we
I'm
have
not sure.
Holly because if they're approved, that should be connected.
Okay.
I'll just tell Holly and she should be able to figure it out.
All right. I'm just going to make a note here for her. So I'll bring it up in the meeting, and then I'll message her too. Um, Anybody else have a similar situation where you're it looks like you got your account, but you're not seeing any material. You're not seeing the events calendar is blank. You click on learning, there's nothing there. If you have that type of situation, please let me know so we can get that resolved for you, you know. And thanks for sharing Dashita and Lily too. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Andre, anything you want to add before we sign off here?
No, I think Mo did a great job. They did a good job, taking the initiative. When they told, I heard as well from Jay's group that would go high level. You can do your own things in there, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good idea, but didn't take action on it yet. So great job for doing that for sure. And that should make the rest of us think about what other things can go high level do that we might be able to take advantage of. I've never used it myself, so this is all new to me as well. But we probably should take some training on Go High Level and figure out what are the other things that it can do that we might be able to leverage that we haven't leveraged yet. Right?
Yep.
There's probably
Absolutely.
a lot more to it than we even know.
Yep. Hey, Andre, I have the Russ Laggins link for it describes the new co-sponsorship, but do you have it on your computer? It's on my phone in your text to me because I want these guys to see that. And it shows
the video.
Yeah, it's like a 3-minute video on co-sponsorship.
3-minute video. I got a video, but I think it's like 20 minutes.
Maybe it is, but it's where he describes how our version of co-sponsorship works in it versus real,
Yeah, I got it on my computer. Give me
Okay.
a minute and I can find it here and give you the link.
Hey guys, when you see that in the chat box, go ahead and copy it and paste it like an email to yourself. It's really important. And I'm going to give you a big reason why. So when you're talking to other agents, obviously there's other companies that are, sprung up and trying to copy us. And I'll just pick on Real just because I know more about them. I actually know people there. Their version of co-sponsorship is, let's say PF and Mo have both been speaking to the same agent that wants to join. And the agent's torn, well, what should I do? Should I join under PF or should I join under Mo? Well, the answer is now they can do both. But here's what's different. Real, they literally do a 50-50 split. It's actually 45-45. Mo would get 45% of the revenue share from this new agent. Let's say it's Eric's. Eric's the new agent. Mo will get 45% revenue share based on Eric's production. PF will get 45% of Eric's production, a revenue share based on Eric's production. Real would get the remaining 10%. Okay. Here's what we do at EXP. I'm not going to give you all the details because it's a little bit technical, but just remember this. That agent Eric can name both Mo and PF as a sponsor. And let's say PF is the primary person, the primary sponsor. PF would get all the revenue share, not just 45% of it, all the revenue share from Eric's production, as well as PF's upline. Okay, see what I'm saying? Mo would also get full revenue share from Eric's production, but it would not go above Mo. Mo would be like the co-sponsor. So Mo would get it, and any person Eric brings in, everybody below them, Mo gets all of that, 100%, just like PF does. So while Real is dividing the revenue, and the problem they're having now is they didn't account for the fact that the revenue share tree goes down, say, 5 levels. So that revenue is already split 50-50, and it keeps getting split, and it's split like 5 times. People were getting revenue share checks for 15 cents and 18 cents, and here we are getting them revenue share checks for hundreds and thousands of dollars. That's why the one agent named Spring came over here, even though she had 3,200 people below her at Real. She came here, leaving 3,200 people behind. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are coming over to be underneath her. But that is a huge deal. We don't divide, we multiply. And I'm going to give you a hint here, and I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. If you know of a married couple who wants to come in, right, or the best of couple, they can come in together and share an EXP account. Okay, and pay $185 a month. The problem with that is that means on revenue share, they share one node to collect revenue share from everybody that they bring in below them. But what if you did this? What if you came in, let's say, I'm not trying to make any suggestions here, Mo and PF. Let's say Mo and PF get married. If they did, I want to do the officiant. I want to do the wedding for you guys. I'll be the preacher. And we're going to have fun everybody's coming. There's going to be fun, parties, all kinds of stuff. So Mo and PF are getting married, and because Gary said so.
I want to
just
see
kidding.
this.
That's right. So here's what could happen. Let's say Mo was first, and then PF came in underneath Mo, right? Every person below PF generates revenue. PF gets all that revenue. Mo also gets revenue share from the same people. It just would be her levels 1 through PF's level 6 would be Mo's level 7. You follow what I'm saying? We always go up and down 7 levels. What that means is they're literally doubling their revenue share because they came in one under the other, as opposed to coming in as the best of partnership. Okay. If that doesn't get your interest peaked, I don't know what would, because if let's say you brought in a son or a daughter, so Mo, PF, and then son or daughter down here, that means 3 people are bringing other people in. Mo gets all that revenue share from all those 2 lines going down and down and down, right? PF gets all of it to the child's 6th level, because the child's 7th level, they don't get that. So you can literally triple your revenue share by doing that. Okay. Now, if you want the model for this, it's actually our upline. It's Jay, Albie, right? Jay Kinder, Albie Stasek, Michael Reese, and Woods Davis. They came in together, one under the other, and figured out a way to share all of that revenue share as a business. I'm not saying you go that far with it. What I'm saying is take advantage of the fact that at EXP, we multiply revenue share. We don't divide it. Huge difference. Okay. So in any case,
I put the link in there. I just put a note that not to share it publicly or anything, because they gave us that in the leadership group to share it with our people, but it's not going to be active until April 1st, or it's not going to be announced till April 1st, and we can't use it until May 1st.
Right.
And between now and then, a few things could get tweaked or changed or whatever, right? So that's just for internal purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty awesome stuff. So guys, I tell you what, definitely stay motivated, stay inspired. Every day, wake up, put on your work boots, swing the bat. That's how you get results. You just have to keep taking action. Okay. Plant those seeds, because a few months down the road, you're going to be reaping the rewards. That's how it works. And the habit developing, habit forming. Make sure you're there Wednesday night. And we're going to go a lot more detail on this on Wednesday night. So, okay. Everybody ready to call it a day and go have some dessert or supper, wherever coast you're on. So,
Thanks,
right.
Gary. Appreciate
Mo,
you.
if you guys could give Mo a big pat on the back, guys, before we go, a hand raise or a thank you, because that was pretty awesome.
Great job, Mo.
Thank you, Mo.
Very inspirational. I definitely want to copy you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and I'll take Child as Trevor.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. You guys take care of yourselves. God bless you and all your loved ones. And I'll see you on the one-on-ones, and I'll see you Wednesday night.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.